Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy What We Watch Wednesday. We are starting off a little bit later today, but make sure you are tapped in with us on YouTube. That's Miss Peacherino Presents What We Watch on YouTube. Just type it in into YouTube and you will find us. That is trademarked. Oh my goodness. Happy What We Watch Wednesday. It's your girl, Miss Peacherino. Tap in on YouTube. What is going on? Oh, goodness. We're having issues again. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
It keeps cutting off my mic. Okay. Can everyone see me?
Yes.
Hopefully this works. The What We Watch app is coming, guys, because X is just not reliable anymore. It's just not a reliable platform anymore. But happy What We Watch Wednesday. It's your girl, Miss Peacherino. Tap in on YouTube. Make sure you're tweeting this out so we can get people to join. This is not a podcast. This is a digital show. We want to hear from you. We are Miss Peacherino Presents What We Watch on YouTube, and we are available at whatwewatch.net. Again, happy What We Watch Wednesday. It's season 1, episode 6. Apparently, we have 2 more episodes left. They are keeping us to 8 episodes. I wanted 16 personally. But we got about 30 minutes here today. So I want us to get right to it, right to the nitty gritty of it all. Okay. The first question I want to ask the group is, what was your favorite scene from season 1, episode 6? Because all of them were enticing and enthralling and intense. And I felt a lot the entire time. So I'm hoping that we can get some real discussions going based off of your favorite. And tell us why too. So Tej, my lovely co-host, let's talk.
I think my favorite scene was the scene between Sophia and I think Eva is her name. Eve? I forgot her name. The
Eve
black
Carlo,
woman.
yeah.
Yes, that scene was my favorite. The way that scene plays out, the dialogue and the performances in that scene, that was easily my favorite scene for sure.
And why was it your favorite scene?
It's acted, it's very well written, and it ends doesn't end how I thought it would. I thought that was Sophia gets somebody, but it didn't end that way.
Okay, hold on. Your
Just a
audio
very
started being really
good way to go.
trash. Your audio started being super, super trash. I don't know what you did. So we'll come back to you. Angela, what was your favorite scene and why this episode?
My favorite scene, so I actually wrote it down. Hold on. I
Heck yeah,
texted to
heck yeah.
myself.
Come
Is
prepared.
actually it's actually at the beginning when he's talking to Vic and he's like, "Yeah, man, things are growing and these people love us." And he said they love us, and you know why they love us? It's because we pay them. And I'm just
Yes.
like, bruh.
Did you notice the parallel there with Sophia in the previous episode where she was like, I get it, blood and money, you know?
Yeah, but it's like there's like this thing where like and there is this parallel between her and Oz where I don't know if it was the last episode or this episode because I rewatched the last episode before I rewatched this one. And she's like, but I have money. And like I think it's her, yeah, it's the last one. It's like, but you don't have respect. And so it's like, bro, money is not going to be the solution to all your power voids. Like, but yeah.
I think the money and the way they keep highlighting that these employers or these employees will get paid more money. I think that's really cool because it shows you that it's basically the people that were at the bottom or the people that were betrayed multiple times that know how it feels to be played. And so they're like, well, we know that you probably weren't, it's like under a new regime, right? Under the new regime, I'm going to treat you better than the person that was before me treated me, right? And so I think that's like the common thread through Sofia Gigante and her crew. And Penguin is like, they ain't never respected me. I was always a driver. So if I'm going to maintain any loyalty, I got to do something. And so, the discussion is about power, but it's also about loyalty. And how do I get a bunch of people that have no respect for me to still be loyal to me? And it's to pay their bills. Sounds like someone that has a rich husband that they don't like their husband, but he pay all the bills. I respect it. Bradford, welcome to the stage. This is what we watch. We are talking about season 1, episode 6 of the Penguin HBO. Tell me your favorite scene and why.
Okay. Hello, everyone. For me, ironically enough, the very end scene was my favorite. When the
Yes.
penguin gave his speech, I was not. I don't think anybody was expecting that because you're trying to. Oz is always like trying to wiggle his way out of trouble, and so he shows up. He calls a sort of grand meeting of the kings and whatnot. You know the mushrooms are going to be in that cake. That's the only thing they could possibly be. And he opens in their beer cans, and somehow he gives the most random speech, and everybody shows their respect by opening their beer cans, which is wild. It makes no sense, but it is literally how Oz has gotten away with everything this entire season.
Yeah. Who knew the Penguin HBO was really, he went to Toastmasters meeting. He's a great public speaker. Okay, from driver to great public motivational speaker. People get a lot of money to go around and make people feel confident and motivated like that. So that's really what that is. Robert, welcome to the stage once again. Happy What We Watch Wednesday. What was your favorite scene of this episode?
What's going on, everybody? It's kind of like a three-way tie for me. Number one, I did
Oh,
love that last scene. I
yeah.
thought it was excellent, because even Oz had me ready to get up and ready to start selling some bliss. I was ready. I was like, man, it was, it was a great scene. I
Not you
loved
ready
it.
to move that good?
Yeah,
Wow.
move that weight. I was ready. I was like, Oz, put me in the game, put me in the game.
Oh,
But
tell me. Okay, so we don't move good, we move the weight. Okay, get me together. I'm still finishing The Wire, child. I don't know.
no, it was good. I love that scene. I also love the two scenes with Vic where he killed Squid, because we knew something was coming with that confrontation between him and Squid. We knew at some point Victor really wanted to get his hands dirty, and then we saw the loss of innocence and how that affected him. And then the fallout with that with him and Oz, was comforting him and gave him a hug and just like, "Yo, is that what happened? Are you okay?" And then
Yeah.
at the very end, Oz goes, "It gets easier," and I was like, "Oh wow,
Yeah.
okay." And then, he's like, yeah, go home, get your head together, stay with mom, all that good stuff. I need you. I need you. You're my guy. So all three of those scenes, I think, just all were built from previous episodes based off of relationships and off of character arcs and how each character has been built over the year or over the season. And then, like I said, number four is that talk with Eve and Sophia.
Wait,
That
you
was a
have a
great scene.
four-way tie or a
I
three-way tie?
three-way tie. Four is honorable mention. Four is honorable mention. But that scene with
Okay.
Sophia and Eve was just a great scene, and the respect that was shown between the parties. But it's just like, it was a well-written episode, well
It
acted, well
was,
directed. It was just that's why I said it was a
yeah.
three-way tie between those scenes. It's like just those three scenes were amazing to me.
Look, I'm gonna talk about as a screenwriter, great, fantastic screenwriting all day. But to me, what really, shone in this episode was the acting. Quite frankly, I mean, Mom, Vic, Penguin, Eve, like Sophia, every single person in every single scene. I was so deep in it with everyone. Like the mom having her little, flashback or, bout of Alzheimer's or whatever he kind of said, like they don't know what it is, right? I was just like, wow, she's eating down. Then I'm like seeing Sophia Gigante and I'm like, man, she eating down too. And then I see Vic with the scene with Squid, and I'm like, man, everybody is just bodying. Like, shout out to the casting director of the Penguin HBO. Everyone is killing it. It's crazy to witness. I'm like, what? No notes. T, just your audio fix. I really want to hear from you your best scene and or your favorite scene and why you loved it.
They really gave Squid the worst vibes of all time. Like all time bad vibes character Squid. Every time he's on screen, the vibes are awful. No, my favorite scene, like I said, was the scene in the meeting between Eve and Sophia, just because of how well written it was, how well acted it was, and I did not predict the ending. I thought that was going to end with the death of a black woman, which I wasn't looking forward to, but I thought what's got to be done's got to be done, and it didn't end that way. And I just thought it was a perfect scene that got to show obviously every time Kristen gets some scenery to chew on, she crushes it. But I thought Eve held her own in the scene as well. And she was spitting her bars a little bit before she got hit with ultimate truth. She was spitting bars at the hangman. And I said, wait a second now. The hangman gotta consider that she's getting real grown woman bars spit at her right now. And I just like the way they did the
That's
scene.
facts. That's facts. That's facts. Southern Coastal Elite. What was your favorite scene and why? Talk to us.
It's split between the penguin and his mother getting her out of the bathtub, and then
Ooh, that one was good.
the last scene with Vic dancing with her as the hangman is lurking.
Mm, I'm getting chills. I mean, look at all these scenes, guys.
Hey,
we're we're hitting scene for scene for scene, like all of them, gold. But tell me why you like those two scenes the most, because both of them had the mom in it. So seems like you like in the mom character and what she reveals and brings to the show.
well, I've been listening to the official podcast,
Yeah.
and she was on the last episode, and just how she is completely giving herself to the role. Like, she did not have to be naked for that role. She was like, I need to be naked because that's what it is. Like, the
Yes.
vulnerability, like, and the kindness and the emotion, and Vic is so tender. And when you see Penguin be tender for, like,
Mm.
them boys were raised right.
Yeah, they may kill a couple people,
Hey,
but but
Yes,
whom's
Vic ain't
among
no
us?
killer.
thank you.
You said what, Teach? What'd you say, Teach? Oh, I thought Teach said thank you. I ain't a killer, but don't push me. I love that you said tender. I don't know where. Oh, there she is. I don't know. I love that you said tender because it takes a lot of trust just from an acting perspective. And we talk about this with Succession and the four siblings. We talk about this in industry HBO with our Harpers and our, wow, her name is escaping me. Marissa's character, Yasmin's, with their intimate things. And so it takes a lot of trust and vulnerability to be in these scenes with fellow actors and actresses. And I think it takes a lot for that Kathy, I believe is her name. Colin Farrell probably made her, there was a trust there and a vulnerability there, which is so cool. And that's what we do at What We Watch. We talk about the business side of things as well and how it contributes to the art. And these artists, these actors and actresses are dedicating themselves. And that is why we're getting damn good television. Like, this is real cinema. May I remind you that the costume designer said, "Hey, I'm treating each episode like it's a short film, like it's a film, because they're about 45 minutes. So I mean, we're getting a movie here." And I just every scene is so seamlessly woven into the next one. And we'll talk about mine in a minute. But Diner in the chat, talk to us. What was your favorite scene and why?
Well, I will get to a quick favorite scene. I think people have hit on most of the ones that I would say, but if anyone listened last week, I got basically exactly what I wanted, where you asked us, like, what do you want to see next week? And I was like, oh, maybe some quieter scenes in the Penguin plot line, like in between stuff. And we got
Yeah,
pretty much exactly that for most of the episode, so that was great. Thank you,
heck yeah.
screenwriters and directors. Um, I guess I don't know if it was an exact scene, but the scene where I guess when Vic comes upon Squid the first time, and tries to just kind of like shrug him off when Squid's like, oh, I can see your nice shoes, your nice haircut, whatever. It's like, I can tell you got some money, like you're getting some money, like who you getting from, let me in. And Vic tries to just like shrug him off. And he's like, well, yeah, I'll check with the bosses. But it's clear that Vic is like not on that level yet. Like he's not really gangster enough or whatever you want to call it to be able to sort of just dismiss Squid in that way. And I think it's emblematic of the sort of slow burn that Vic has been on, like sort of the whole season, where I've been wondering ever since his girlfriend left, or his ex, whatever you want to call her, in the second episode, like, is she going to
Yeah,
come
what is
back and then it's going to be this like hard, refined Vic she comes back to, and he's like, "Oh no, I'm going to take care of you, baby. Like you're going to love me again. Like I can provide for you now," and she won't buy it, and it'll be this heartbreaking thing. But like this show's so much better than that, and I hope, at least I hope that could still happen, but hopefully it doesn't. So I liked that scene. Can I talk about the only scene of the episode I didn't like? Is that allowed?
sure? This is
Um,
hashtag gripe guys. Okay.
like, well, it was just they're reducing Carmine. It seems like there's the one scene where Sophia and him go to Oz's old office, and Sophia's like, let me look for clues, you can just break shit, and he goes into town, and like it seems like there's so much more to that character, and he's being reduced to kind of like this angry old man who lost his family, and his wife was maybe running the show anyway while he was in prison, and he doesn't have any value, and it doesn't seem like that was what they were building up his character to be. So I
Interesting.
hope he comes back with more, bringing more to the plot, I guess, later in the season.
Salvatore or Carmine?
I get them mixed up, but the guy that's still alive with the gray beard that's with teamed up
Salvatore.
with, yeah, yeah.
Tej, I'm interested. How do you feel about how Salvatore is being presented in this show? Is he kind of getting nerfed, or what do you think?
No, well, he's not going to surpass Sophia in terms of his importance to the show, but I don't feel like he's getting nerfed. I actually really liked the conversation between him and her when they were when he was cooking, and it kind of showed a little bit more about him.
Me too.
But I didn't mind the scene. I do think that we're going to need like for him to actually play a role in whatever's coming, and I guess that he will. He's probably going to end up being killed, but I think that he will have some. He will have a say in it, but. I will say that he's not going to ever surpass Sophia in terms of importance to the show. So far, I have no issue.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Nick Van Exel, welcome. Are you a first time What We Watcher?
Good evening. Yes, my first time clicking because I
Welcome.
finally started binge watching this past weekend. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome.
Yeah. So my favorite scene, I don't know if it's a favorite scene, but my favorite idea or situation that happened on the show is the difference between that dinner scene of Sal and Sophia, and Sophia looks at the wine and alludes that it's an expensive wine, and then you fast forward to the end scene where Penguin's toasting to, I'm sure it's some cheap beer. And so to me, my sister brought that to my attention, and I look at it like, oh wow, so it's kind of like it's the rich against the poor, where Sophia and them, they come for money, and then Penguin of course is poor, and it's going to be the underground versus the kings of the underground.
Obsessed with that call out. Yes, yes, yes. I love that. And was that your favorite scene, the beer scene?
Well, technically, my favorite scene was the. I think somebody mentioned it earlier, where it's like it sucks you in, where you see Vic and the mom dancing, and it's like, oh, such a heartfelt moment, and then you see that crowbar, and it's like, oh my god.
Look, here's the thing. This is What We Watch. I have quite a few pillars for What We Watch and why this community is the best community. Thank you for making it so. But I love me a horror. And throw in a horror element into a show, into a episode, and I'm in, man. I'm in every time. We're just dancing, and she's in a delicate place, and she just wants the music to play, and the power comes on. Tej and I were like, no, the power. Oh no, the music. Everyone's gonna know that you're there. And by everyone, I mean the hangman. That sucks. Somebody's about to die. Angela, go ahead. I see your hand up.
Okay, I just want to say like one thing, and it's not necessarily like about the show. I thought this recent episode was great. It's just this isn't even like a read. Like it's just like a minor thing that like bothers me that people do a lot. So like a lot of people have been like, "Oh my god, the Penguin, so amazing this most recent episode." And it was solely because of the cliffhanger. Like people were like saying like this recent episode was just so perfect solely because of the cliffhanger. And like I don't really like cliffhangers. Like it's the reason why I can't rewatch Across the Spider-Verse until we get the third movie. But like it was so much more to this episode than the cliffhanger, and like that really bothered me. But
I'm
like
telling you.
I don't think that at first I was like, okay, Vic's gonna die. Like Vic is gonna die. But I think it's clearly the mom's gonna die because like we kind of saw that being foreshadowed when she was talking to Oz. She was just like, I don't just kill me before it gets too bad.
Mm.
Because I don't like it'd be
Cheech,
too
I know you hear
obvious.
this.
It'd
Mm.
be too obvious. So yeah.
Nah, see,
The app is acting weird for me. I didn't hear anything Angela said.
no,
Do you know how the app is acting?
Angela was just talking about how she thinks the mom is going to die due to the foreshadowing in the last scene, and that she doesn't really like.
Oh yeah, she's absolutely gonna die.
So, Angela, this is why we're here at What We Watch, because notice how we've said at least 7 scenes that had us tapped in. Nem, welcome to the stage. Give me specifically your favorite scene of this episode. We've kind of hit all of them. I think there were a total of maybe 10, 11 scenes in this episode. We've named 7 as our top favorites. Go ahead.
Okay. You can hear me all right?
Yep.
All right, cool. There were a few. I'm gonna go a little left field. Victor and Squid.
Mm.
Um, that interaction, Squid, like it gave a little bit more of that backstory from the beginning of the show, as far as like why he was out there boosting the car, boosting the rims off of the car, and like the kind of the vicious cycle that is the city, and how it has you scratching to survive one way or another, right? So you're still like
Mm-hmm.
you're still caught up in the mix, even though you're on the other side
Mm.
of being the low man's gopher, right? So now you're out here with the Penguin, still doing dirt, but having to kind of reconcile where you are now with where you were.
Right.
And we were talking about it before in previous What We Watch, that Vic can't die yet until he's a little bit deeper in the game.
Right.
And I think even Tej was like, yeah, he's got to catch a body first and all this other stuff. So
Yeah, we're predicting a lot of what's been going on. Like, nah,
yeah,
Vic got to become a criminal. I think Angela said it too. Angela was the first stan of Vic. She was like, "No, that's my guy. That's my guy. That's my guy."
yeah,
But yeah, go ahead.
yeah. No, I just wanted to
Yeah,
call that out, that What We Watch is we locked in. You know what I mean, as
we
far as what's
locked
going
in.
on. So
Like some
hey, we got that stuff going on in the
celebration.
background.
Heck yeah,
Um,
what we watch really up. What we watch really up, and it's not just me. I'm just here to facilitate conversations. I love when you guys tap in and you guys get it. I hope that you are even more immersed in your TV shows, because that's why we do this. Like, it's up for real. My favorite scene personally, and I think Southern Coastal Elite, I saw your hand up, but I got to talk about my favorite scene for a minute. And I'm going to take Robert's 2-way tie kind of moment. Not a 3, 4.5, 5, 6-way tie, okay?
Oh
It was
wow.
just not
Okay.
that.
Okay. That's what we're doing. All right. All right.
But it was a 2-way tie. And there's a couple things I want to talk about. So go with me on this journey. Number one, I thought the episode was going to end after like 3 scenes. I was like, oh, we can end it here. Oh, we can end it here. And then we ended it with what we ended it with, obviously, right? Which was fantastic. But my 2 favorite scenes were the one with Eve and, Sofia Gigante, my girl, and the Penguin speech. The Penguin being the best motivational speaker ever. Like, I'll move some bliss for you too, my boy. I don't even drink beer. I probably still wouldn't have drank the beer. I would have probably requested like a cider or maybe a wine. And a can is fine, Penguin. I don't do beer. But I was in. And what's so cool about both those scenes, first, the Eve scene, there was so many beats in that scene that made it so cool to experience, because at one point you thought it was going this direction and then it went in this direction and then you thought it was going to continue in that direction, then it switched directions again, and they did that at least 3 or 4 times. And that takes talent, that takes skill, that takes dedication. Like we're looking at, veterans in the game right now to be able to create such a captivating scene from, from the words that they had to read, right? The lines that they had to read. I think giving Sofia Gigante and Eve finally their face off, when they've been talking about it. Penguin has been trying to, say that this is not going to happen. You good? I got you. And we knew the whole time, because Eve was like, you putting me in a bad position, my boy. And whomst among us, women in the room, if you're heterosexual, when is a man not putting us in a terrible position? Now you got me fighting this girl. Now you got my life at risk. And it's like, dang, we just have our little thing. And now this girl is telling me that you're actually a terrible person and he killed my friends. Damn it. And so it was just such a gentle scene. And I love, because I think it was Nem that brought up last time, how we got Sofia Gigante and her bouts of humanity. The little glimpses and glimmers of humanity that we get throughout this show, where we're like, yeah, we know she about business. She'll, headshot someone 2 feet away from her in a heartbeat. But also she has a little softness and she tries to hang on to humanity. So that scene had me going crazy. I was like, nah, this is how we do television. Then to follow it up right with the Penguin throwing cheap ass beer to people, it was almost like disrespect, which is why we had the head of the triads there like, how am I gonna do with this whack ass beer? And man, so many beats once again in that scene, man. And we're just, Penguin is like, let me just tell you, I know nobody gives a fuck about me. I know that. And I know nobody gives a about you. A lot of you need to relate to me. A lot of you need to trust me, because if I'm leading this situation and I know I'm not respected or whatever, you know that I'm just about the hustle. So I'm going to make you some money, because I don't know anything else. We can't do anything else. And that was just so, so tight. To me, that is the, Tej, I'm going to take your word. That is the mission statement of this show. Because if you remember, I'm like, what is the show really about? Is it about Sofia Gigante? Is it about becoming the head of the thing? No, and it's about, how am I going to gain power and respect through money, through, loyalty. That's what this entire show is about. So those are my two favorite scenes. I want to welcome India. Did you want to come up to the stage and chat? If not, that's okay. We'll give you some time if you want to come to the stage. Before we close out this 30-minute episode, Tej, I want you to give us the theories that you have for the last 2 episodes, because right now, I think what we watch is shooting like 80% from the field, better than a lot of these NBA teams at the start of the season, quite frankly. So what are your theories for the last 2 episodes? Really what I'm asking is
Uh,
who's dying and who's not dying. That's really just, we'll get straight to the point.
Unfortunately, I think I have the gist of what's going to
Yeah.
happen, and I think they showed their hand when you see the mom who's having one of her episodes, and Vic is letting her live in
I
the
can't
false
hear
reality
T.
that her sons are still alive. Yes, the app is. Can everybody else hear me? Because the app is
I can
crazy.
hear you. Okay, good.
Okay, that's just me. He can't hear me. What I think is happening is that because you see the scene where the mom is still living in the world where her sons are still alive, and Vic is indulging her in that. The penguin checks him on that, but then later in the episode when they're dancing, Vic is doing it again.
Mm-hmm.
Right? He's letting her live in the world in which her sons are still alive. Something's going to happen to where she thinks that her son is still alive, and that's going to cause her to make a move or do something that endangers her life and kills
Mm-hmm.
her, because like we don't know how like, because obviously we saw Sophia is in the house, so Sophia is going to kidnap either the mom or Vic or both. And I don't think Sophia is just going to kill the mom. I think it's specifically going to be something that impugns Vic, or at least in the brain of the penguin, who's going to be crazed with
Mm.
grief. He's going to blame Vic, and he's going to either kill Vic or cause Vic to be killed. And it's going to specifically come down to Vic allowing the mom to, be in the delusional world where her sons are still
So
alive,
mom and
or
Vic
something to
done.
that
So mom
effect.
and Vic done for you. Episode 8.
Yes, but not at the same
Okay.
time. I don't think Sophia is going to kill Vic. I think it's going to hit harder for the viewers if the Penguin causes Vic to get killed, not in an indirect way, but in a very
Okay.
direct way. So I think
Okay.
that's where we're going.
Okay. Robert, I'm just gonna randomly call on y'all. Who's dying? Before we, who's dying? Quite frankly.
Honestly, I think Vic may die, and that's going to be I think that's going to be one of the hardest hits for the audience is Vic dying, and I think it's
Mm.
going to come at the Penguin's hand, and that's what I think is going to make it,
The
you know,
UNTH agree.
the most tragic situation is that the Penguin is going to be the one who has to kill Vic because of whatever situation he put him in, and I think that's going to hit the hardest. Like they already like they said, like T said, they already foreshadowed the mom's death with how she doesn't want to live with her Alzheimer, whatever type of disease she has.
Right.
So they kind of foreshadowed that. But I think Vic's not making out the show alive. I think Sophia makes it out alive. But yeah, that's who I think. I think Vic is going to die by the end of the series.
I hope both of you are absolutely wrong. Bradford, who's dying? So
I don't want Vic to die. I feel like
dang.
the obvious thing would be to do that just because it's been foreshadowed from the very beginning. He literally said, "This is how it ends for you, kid." So it seemed like they weren't gonna do it, and now they're leaning towards there. So I don't want him to. I'm trying to pick some. I think one of the triad guys is gonna die. That's a reasonable safe
Okay, I like
pick.
that.
So,
One of the
but
triads
hopefully
gotta
anybody but
go.
Vic. Anybody but Vic.
Angela, Vic is your boy. They saying he's out of here.
Sadly, I think he's gonna die too.
Oh,
I think,
I hope
yeah,
all
I
of
didn't
them.
even think about it with the foreshadowing when Oz was like, get in the box or like get in the grave. I think because we okay, it's seeming like we know the Penguin's gonna be the next Batman movie. We just know, right? But like, there's like one last shred of humanity he has left, and it's in his mother. So his mom is definitely
Yes.
dying, and whether
Dang.
um. And I think that his mom is dying. The fall on that or responsibility on that is gonna fall on Vic, and the Penguin is either gonna do something to Vic, intentional or unintentionally, to make Vic die, so the Penguin has like nothing left. He's just like, fuck everyone in this town. I'm killing everybody. Like, yeah.
I mean, we opened this episode with Penguin killing somebody, or this show, this season, with Penguin killing somebody. I would not be surprised if we end the show with him killing somebody. You know, let's not forget the journey that we've been on. We're only on episode 6, and they are cooking. Okay, Diner, please
Um,
don't say Vic is out of here.
well, this whole time I've been trying to think of how Vic could live. Hard, hard. I'm trying to think of something. Like, I think if this was a multiple season show, I could come up with a reason for Victor to live. But since we know it's just kind of leading into Batman, I don't know how Vic is going to get through this alive. Uh, I do think the mom's also definitely going to die 100%.
Okay, so what we watch is the line. We're losing mom, we're losing Vic, which
Yeah,
is what the cliffhanger scene was.
the mom without also losing Vic. Um,
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
but another thing, I just wonder if Batman's going to come up in the show at all before the end. This isn't who's going to die or who's going to live, but because everything we know about all of the characters in all of this show before this show is their relationship, how they relate to Batman.
Right.
So I just kind of wonder if he's
Teach, what do you think? Is Batman going to show up? I think no, because we don't need him.
No, I don't
We
think
don't
he's
need him.
showing up.
Only because we don't need him, not because.
I
I think
not really.
I think that's something they would have had in the back pocket, but they at some point realized what they were making was actually standalone good, and you could obviously save money by not having to play Robert Pattinson to come on set for a day or two. So I don't think he's
I
showing up.
think if this gets a second season, we get a little quick 1-2 with it, right? I feel like if we continue, then maybe we pay Robert Pattinson to show up and do an episode for us. Um, Here's my prediction for the final 2 episodes of this show. Uh, Unfortunately, I also agree that Vic is not going to make it. I believe that he's going to die in the same way that what's his face and from The Wire died, the son of what is his name? And when
You better be careful because somebody might spoil something you haven't seen yet. You better be very careful bringing up that television.
The Wire, it's 22 years
Well, yes,
old. I'm the last
I'm
one.
talking about for your own
I
sake. Yes,
know, but
you're
I'm
the only
saying
one in
something
here
that's
who ain't
already
finished.
happened, which is when what is D'Angelo got hung and like got in the in jail while he was in jail. I feel like it's gonna hit like that because I was completely shocked, but it happened towards the end of the season, and so I feel like that's gonna be something that they hold off until the end because he's probably such a well liked character as an audience. But I think we're definitely losing the mom. I think Salvatore. I don't think we need him anymore. I think he maybe survives, but this is just a desire. I don't think we need him anymore because the Maroney family is done anyways. He's kind of just there making pasta, which, shout out to the guys making pasta. But so I think it'd be creative to see like the dissolution of some real players that Sofia Gigante and Penguin really trust. So if we're going to talk about Penguin losing, Mom and Vic, then Sofia got to lose somebody too. And I just feel like we need that kind of parallel. But I will say that something that sticks out about these shows, especially this episode for me, is predictability. And predictability can be have such a negative connotation on a lot of TV shows. If I know what's going to happen, maybe I'm not as immersed and maybe I'm not as excited or impressed. When I tell you what, with the Penguin HBO, it doesn't matter how predictable it is, the journey is still so amazing. It's still so enthralling. And that only speaks to how great the show is. If I can predict what's going on and I'm still not out, you know how good you have to be for me to know what's happening? I mean, I watch a lot of TV. I watch a lot of film. I basically dedicated my life to this. So me predicting a thing is not really, it's not unheard of, but it's one thing for me to predict it and another for the journey to still be amazing, right? And to still kind of keep me locked in about what's happening next. So that's really what I'm excited about for 7 and 8 is that even if we do predict this right, I'm certain that we're going to love the way that they do it. And that's really cool. Angela, go ahead.
Okay, just want to say something last. I think we already saw it because in Teach, I think Teach was the one who referenced it. So she kind of thinks that that's her son when she has those like delusions. Delusions
Hmm.
is a fucked up word, but she kind of thinks that like that's her son when she has those like things.
Moments, right?
Yeah, when she has those moments, and we already saw that a mother and son died. So I do wonder if that's like if that was supposed to show us something. But
Right.
yeah, I mean it can literally go anywhere. But I know 100% the mom's dead. Like I just know 100% she gone.
100% she's
Yeah.
done out here. That's so crazy. This is what we watch. We are going to say the thing that needs to be said. You know what's interesting? Vic has been taken in as kind of a father son figure moment with the penguin. And so for the penguin's mom to also see him as a son, Vic is really a son. Vic is really like, developing this family, which is so cool. Like, I mean, I'm just gonna nerd out, but this show, they're going crazy. They're going crazy with this. I don't know what they was doing in that writers' room. They were cooking. Tej, go ahead.
And just helped me figure out exactly how the show's going to end.
Okay.
So it's going to be the case that Sophia has kidnapped both Vic and the mom, but through some weird back channeling, there's going to be a way that Vic is able to communicate with Penguin, probably through cell phone, and that's going to be episode 7. Episode 8, or maybe episode 7 ends this way, or maybe it happens at the beginning of
Okay.
episode 8. What's going to happen is that Sophia is going to want to kill one of them to make a point because the Penguin's not cooperating with whatever demand she gives him, and she's going to attempt to kill Vic, but the mom, who thinks that's her son, is going to step in front and sacrifice herself, thus saving Vic. Then the Penguin will arrive. He will be there to save his mom and Vic, and realize his mom is dead, and then he will kill Vic because he knows that she only did that because she thinks Vic is her son. He told him not to be letting her pretend that way, and thus he blames, in his fit of anger and grief, he blames Vic and he kills Vic. End of show.
End of show. All right. Let's remember that. We're going to cut that. I'm going to have my social media manager cut that, and let's see how accurate you are. Robert, go ahead.
Yeah, I have one last prediction about how the show is going to end. I don't think Batman's going to show up, but I do think Penguin's going to get everything that he wants, but at a great cost to him. So probably losing Vic and his mother. But at the end, he gets everything he wants. He smiles. We show up a close up of him smiling. Then he looks up. He sees the bat signal. Oh shit! And then that's how the show ends.
Ooh, so Batman doesn't show up, but we see the bat signal.
Yep. So
Because
that's the
remember, we're
yeah
in the universe of the film,
yeah
really. So we do have to
yeah because they say this
make sure
show
it makes sense.
leads straight into the second Batman movie. So
Okay, Robert.
yeah.
Just so you guys know, Robert is a fantastic screenwriter.
Oh
Stay tuned. We all tapped in.
I like that a lot with the bat signal.
Yeah.
That's free 99 to put into
yeah.
the show. I
Yeah,
like
we
that.
like that. Turn that up.
That's what you call you give them the feeling for free.
Yep.
That's smart.
Um, Southern Coastal Elite, talk to me.
Mom's is Mom's is gone. She's gonna sacrifice herself just to get out of this.
Yeah,
Like
mom's is me in the zombie apocalypse, bro. I'm good,
she's
bro.
so tired. Don't have me out here crazy at all.
I'm good, bro. World about to end. My brain don't function the way it needs to go. I'm good. Take me out.
Eh, Like I think Vic's gonna die, but I think instead of Penguin actually killing Vic, I think Sophia's gonna kill Vic.
I think an accidental self-defense moment
Yeah.
comes up in some
Mhm.
way.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think that Vic is the actually only pure person that is not pure anymore, but he is the purest person. So like if it's
I,
not gonna be a lady of the night, it's gonna be Vic that's gonna
yeah.
die by
Yeah.
tragic accident.
I think I think what's cool is that I think we're underestimating how we keep seeing these little moments of humanity with Sofia Gigante. And I think it's cool to see where that ride takes us. Because she done spared Eve when she really went in there to kill Eve. But did she go in there to kill Eve? Like I said, it was totally predictable to me. As soon as that woman was posted up outside the booth so quickly to greet Sophia, I'm like, Sophia moved very calculated. No one's just like, hey, you need help? I'm like, man, Eve, no, Hangman finna come. She not stupid. And so when she said it, I was like, yeah, I knew that. But now I didn't know after that if she was gonna kill her because both things make sense. Sophia Gigante saving Vic, none of us are going to be shocked. Using Vic, leveraging Vic, trying to get Vic to join her side. Like, I don't think any of us are going to be shocked. We're also not going to be shocked if she kills Vic. And so that's what makes her such a compelling character, right? Because we do understand her motives and her desires, but we don't know what she's finna do, right? Which is so horrific and so fun in this Batman universe. But to wrap today's episode up, thank you guys so much. Thank you for always referencing the things that you've said before. Remember what you shared because if you were right, you were right. But if you were wrong, we're gonna call you out too. You can call me out if I was wrong as well. To end this episode, I have to. I'd be remiss if I didn't. This is what we watch Wednesday, and on what we watch Wednesday, we provide a recommendation. And I have to tell you guys, let me tell you something. There is a show by Taylor Sheridan. And unfortunately, Taylor Sheridan, he is the king of television. I'm so sorry. Those of us are going to do our best to keep up. And the reason why he gets television is because he drops TV at the time in which it makes sense during the things that are happening in our real life, which is why what we watch is created because art imitates life or life imitates art, whatever it is. And we have Zoe Saldana, who is the one of the highest paid actresses for a few years. And she is in 2 out of 3 or 3 out of 4 of the highest grossing films ever in box office. It's a really fun stat. Zoe Saldana just happens to be in the highest grossing films all time. Like if she's in a movie, the chances of it being a highest grossing film is high. That's just what it is. And I am talking about Special Ops Lioness. I started watching it last year. I'm telling you, it goes crazy for no reason. Special Ops Lioness, I think it's now on Paramount Plus, right, Tej? It's now on Paramount Plus. It was on Amazon Prime. Special Ops
Yeah.
Lioness goes crazy. That is my What We Watch Wednesday recommendation. Please tap in. We might do an episode on that. I'm going to start turning up. We're going to do a few episodes a day for What We Watch Wednesday. But you got to tap in. I'm telling you, think Colombiana, think Sicario, think all of that. Taylor Sheridan, Zoe Saldana, it eats. It's
And season 2 just came out. Or not fully. They just released the first 2 episodes of
right,
season.
which is why this is a recommendation this week. Tap in, watch the first season because season 2 is out. We got season 2. We weren't even sure we were going to get season 2. Then it was greenlit. So very excited. Again, thank you so much. This is the Penguin HBO season 1, episode 6. We'll see you next week for episode 7. And have a great day and have a great evening. Catch us on YouTube, baby. Bye.